Hey, Star Wars fam. So it's finally here. I never thought I was going to get to say this, but because people actually asked for it, here's a part 2. 10 more dark side Force users to turn their back on the dark side. Most of these characters are not as well known as the previous 10, although a few of them are very well known. So just like the last video, this is not in any real order, but I will save my favorites till the end. So before we get started, I am going to put timestamps in this video if you do want to skip around. Okay, so we're going to start this list off strong. We're going to start with Traya, who was a Jedi Master who fell to the dark side and became Darth Traya. When her apprentices Sion and Nihilus turned on her, they cut her from being able to touch the Force, forcing her to turn her back on the dark side. But she did not turn to the light side. She eventually regained her ability to use the Force, and her story is played out in Knights of the Old Republic too. So next on this list we have Cade Skywalker, who was once captured by the one Sith, and Darth Cade did everything he could to turn Cade. He tortured him and even killed other Jedi in front of him. Cade did use his anger to try to save some of the Jedi, and he was eventually made the apprentice of Darth Talon, who he even got romantic with. And let's all be honest here, lucky him. Talon told Cade that Cade was not actually following the dark side and was just pretending. But eventually he did finally fully turn to the dark side in an attempt to escape, and ended up defeating Talon, Nihil, and Darth Cade. He was able to escape and made his way back to the light side and to become a Jedi again. Coming up next we have Darth Sajar, who was a member of the Sith Empire's ruling Dark Council during the Great Galactic War. He once attempted to trap and kill a Jedi Master, but that Master was able to convince him to abandon the Sith. Sajar renounced the Empire and his seat on the Council to become a Padawan. Although he once had a momentary lapse and let the dark side take him over, it was only temporary and he was able to stay on the light side. Up next is Darth Gravid, who reigned as Dark Lord of the Sith in the lineage of Bane. Over time, he was drawn to the light side of the Force and began to lose his sanity as a result of attempting to combine some of the philosophies of the Jedi with the Siths. He even started to destroy many of his Sith artifacts. His apprentice killed him to stop him from destroying all of his Sith artifacts. It is unclear if he was really turning to the light side, or if the dark side had just corrupted his mind so bad that he just went crazy. So up next we have Kel'eth, who was a Sith Lord in the Sith Empire, and he resided on Dromankos. By the end of his life, he taught that passion only led to temporary strength, and that true strength was found in peace, a philosophy conventionally associated with the Jedi. In 4606 BBY, he was killed by the Sith Emperor for his heresies in teaching the light side of the Force. So as we near the halfway point of this video, I'd like to ask you guys to please subscribe to my channel and help it grow. Also, if you could, give this video a like. Thank you. Let's continue. Next, we have Lord Praven, who was a trained Sith warrior during the Old Republic era. Praven even participated in the attack on the Jedi Temple. During the war, he challenged the hero of Tython, and was convinced to abandon the dark side and become a Jedi. Finding a new purpose as a Jedi Padawan, Praven learned the ways of the light side and gladly joined the Republic military. Up next we have Juhani, who was a Cathar female. In addition to experiencing great hardships and xenophobic discrimination, she was sold into slavery after the death of her parents. Juhani was eventually freed from her servitude by the Jedi Knight Revan. During her Jedi trials, she was believed to have killed her master, and that caused her to turn to the dark side and flee to an ancient grove. In the grove, she was defeated by Revan when she attacked him, and he convinced her to seek forgiveness from the Jedi Council and come back to the light side. Coming in next is Ajunta, who was a human male Jedi Master and the leader of the Dark Jedi during the 100 Years of Darkness. After the war, he was exiled from the Jedi Order and made his way to Korriban, where he became the first Dark Lord of the Sith. Long after his death, his spirit was redeemed by the Jedi Knight Revan during the Jedi Civil War. Letting go of his pain and anguish, Ajunta returned to the light side and became one with the Force. Coming in next is Ulic. According to myths, after Kaldroma's master was killed by the Krath, which was a dark side cult, Ulic volunteered to infiltrate and destroy the Krath. However, he was corrupted, turning to the dark side of the Force, and took over the Krath alongside fellow fallen Jedi Exar Kun. Ulic eventually turned away from the dark side after the death of his brother, and was redeemed by being cut off from the Force. Okay, so as we come to the last on the list, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. She was in most of the comments, and honestly, she should have been in the last video. And she is, of course, Mara Jade Skywalker. She was raised as an assassin for Emperor Palpatine and became a high-level Force-using operative. After Palpatine's death, she received his last command, which was to kill Luke Skywalker. However, the death of her master caused her to go rogue, and she was forced to work with Skywalker on occasions, and developed a respect for him. Over the years, she even grew closer to Skywalker. The two finally realized in 19 ABY that they were in love and wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. She then forever turned her back on the dark side of the Force. So there you have it. 10 more dark side Force users to turn their back on the dark side. Thank you guys again for taking the time to watch my video, and may the Force be with you.